coach. He loses a few players to injury in the process, and he's going to be answering questions about going for it on that fourth down. But tonight,
how about the Cowboys?
A mediocre team and Big D. That's what makes this funny. How about the Cowboys? How about the Cowboys? Some way, somehow, when it counts, just wait. They will let you down. The accident, they will mess it up. Just wait. The accident, they will let you down. Just wait. The accident, the accident, the accident, waiting to happen. It will happen. I'm predicting they're gonna be irrelevant. I'm predicting an absolute embarrassment for the last decade and a half. They make me laugh. All the talent that they have is unbelievable, man. Big D, teasing you. This is what they do. Walking through, we show up on cue. Accident, something will go wrong. The accident of the big Jumbotron. Accident, John. I recognize it's a black cat running around that franchise. Say it with me. Accident, they will mess it up. Just wait. The accident, they will let you down. Just wait. The accident. Waiting to happen. It will happen. How about the Cowboys?
Now that's how I like to start a Monday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. Stephen A. living his best life. Get it? Okay. No music, but you're still feeling it. We brought in a former Cowboy, Super Bowl champ, Keyshawn Johnson here with us, joining the party, and of course, the one and only Max Kellerman. Fellas, good morning. We got a lot of sports. We got a lot of football. It's a good day. What's up, Stephen A?
Before we start, I just want to say to all of y'all, how do? How you doing? I hope everybody, every one of y'all had an absolutely, positively wonderful weekend. I know it was a beautiful weekend for me. I just hope it was the same for all of you out there, especially you Cowboys
The more
fans.
things change, the more they stay the same.
All right, y'all, let's get right into it. Stephen A., I'll start with you and your Cowboys.
Yeah.
Was Dallas robbed?
Absolutely, positively not, I must say. Listen, do I think that the play should have been called? Absolutely not. I do not believe that should have been called. I mean, for letter of the law, rule, I mean, right there. I mean, clearly, Michael Gallup had his arm extended, and according to NFL officials, that is a call you should make all day, every day. No argument there. But in the end, when you look at how pedestrian the Dallas Cowboys offense was, what is there to say? 3 points in the second half? You got Michael Gallup. You got the $100 million receiver in Amari Cooper. I know Blake Jarwin got hurt and all of that other stuff, but the bottom line is this. When you look at what the Cowboys have in terms of their arsenal, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, etc. There is absolutely positively no excuse why you were limited to 3 points in the second half. You're Mike McCarthy. You should have kicked that field goal to tie the game earlier instead of going for it on 4th and 1 and throwing a 2-yard pass. Ultimately, that ultimately got stopped. I mean, you just got 2 yards for crying out loud. That wasn't going to get it done. Kick the field goal, tie the damn score, and put yourself in a position to win the damn game down the line. You should have done that. You got away with an interference when Jared Goff got knocked upside his head by Aldon Smith, who, by the way, balled. And if he stays healthy, this dude is going to be comeback player of the year, because look at the kind of impact that he had. But in the end, this offense was relatively predictable. It was relatively pedestrian. You still got the same offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. You had the number 1 offense last year. But the bottom line is, as things change, they remain the same. It was supposed to be a difference with Mike McCarthy. It wasn't. It was the same old. And then he goes for the numbers game and let analytics rule the day. That's his fault. I understand the one play shouldn't have been called, but letter of the law, it was offensive pass interference, bottom line, and in the end, that wasn't what lost the game for them. What lost the game for the Dallas Cowboys was the fact that they were too damn predictable, they were too damn conservative, and Mike McCarthy, to me, this is a bad day, because that's why you lost the job as the head coach in Green Bay, because you were considered a bit archaic and relatively conventional with an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers at your disposal. So if you were accused of being those things back then in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, now that you have Dak Prescott, we shouldn't have expected you to be any different. You weren't, And as a result, that's why you lost this football game. Plain and simple to me.
Well, we agree that they weren't robbed, but we disagree about everything else because you're changing robbed. We're really talking about that offensive pass interference play. Now, first, let me say this. The Cowboys weren't robbed, and I think going for it on fourth was a good idea. I think more coaches should not be scared to lose. They should be trying to win. And that was the right thing. Be aggressive. It just didn't work out this time. Why are you playing for the tie? You want to get to overtime? Well, I don't get it. Try and win the game. Don't give up 25% of your downs because you're scared that you're going to fail. Try to succeed. So I don't have a problem with that. But in terms of the robbery, Stephen A., and yeah, it's the LA defense, and it's on the flip side, the Cowboys defense not getting it done. We're talking about the pass interference call. Should it have been called? When I first saw it, I thought, that is ticky-tack. You got to be kidding. They're hand-fighting down the sideline. That's normal stuff. At that moment in the game, you don't call it back. But when they showed the reverse angle, the fact of the matter is the Cowboys lost the game, if you want to blame it on that play, because maybe they just get to overtime, they could lose in overtime. But if you want to blame it on that play, the Cowboys lost that game because a good player made a stupid play. Gallup had him beat. Gallup had maybe the most talented guy in the business beat down the sideline. Who initiated contact? I know it's like ticky-tack stuff, it's normal. But actually, it was Gallup. And at first, Ramsey has his hand on the outside. And it's incidental. They're just running down the sideline. Then Gallup brings his hand to the inside. That's when Ramsey hooked it because Gallup, who had separation, he had the play, was trying to create more. I don't know. He felt the pressure that Ramsey was putting on him. Once he put his hand there and Ramsey hooked it, Gallup then pushed off to get the separation. So actually, Gallup initiated contact on a play that he had won, it looked like. Ramsey was smart the way he responded to it, disguising it, but also, no, I'm not going to let you put your hand there. And then Gallup pushes off. They actually, I know it's ticky-tack. You don't want to see that decide the game. That may have not decided the game anyway, but they got that call right. If fans are talking about that play as, oh, the Cowboys got robbed, they're wrong.
Well, there's two plays that you're talking about, right? You're talking about the 4th and 3 that CeeDee Lamb played, but you're also talking about the Michael Gallup play. You basically, if you want to sum it up, they lost the game with two young guys in football. Here's what I'm explaining to you. When you look at the Michael Gallup situation, he's a young guy that doesn't really understand. You don't push off. You do not extend your arms. Had he placed that right arm on the hip of Jalen Ramsey and used it from that standpoint, then you would have never seen the push-off. But when you go high to the shoulder pad and you extend the arm, you're going to get that call 100% of the time from a defensive standpoint. Now let's move to the CeeDee Lamb situation. You look at a shallow cross of CeeDee Lamb. It's not that it was a short throw or catch, Stephen A. It's that CeeDee Lamb didn't go deep enough. That's a perfectly called play. It's man-to-man coverage. If he stair-steps the guy at the top, which freezes the defensive back from coming downhill on him, right there, if he freezes him, he's open with no problem at all. I probably would have put Amari Cooper in that situation rather than a young guy like CeeDee Lamb who was picking his way through the defense, trying to get a feel for where the linebackers were going to go. That's how they lost the game. I love the 4th and 3 with 11 minutes to go. You figure your defense is going to stop them. Yeah. You're going to get the football back. Now you have an opportunity to go back down and score again. There was nothing wrong with that call.
Well, first of all, number one, I didn't blame Dak Prescott for that. I wasn't saying that. Hold on, Max. I didn't blame Dak Prescott for that. I understand that that's basically a route runner right there, an inexperienced route runner like you just pointed out, Key. But more importantly than that, I don't think we can make the assumption that they were going to stop the Rams. When you consider that the Dallas Cowboys secondary was a huge question mark coming into the season, combined with Leighton Vander Esch getting hurt and them now being compromised at the linebacker position, I understand that for the most part, Dallas's defense played well, but I can't assume anything with that defense. But
I'm giving you what is in the mind of the head coach when he makes that decision on 4th and 3. He says, okay. Here's the best call, Kellen Moore. What do you have for me on 4th and 3? Kellen Moore says, okay, we can put CeeDee Lamb on a shallow cross. It's going to be man-to-man coverage. It's going to be wide open. And the head coach says, well, if they stop us, they're going to stop us deep in their own territory. And now they're going to have to go 90 yards to score. I'm betting on our defense in that situation. This is why coaches make those calls. I just would have had Amari Cooper run the shallow cross rather than a young guy like CeeDee Lamb.
Right. Key,
Yeah, but the
I
flip
totally
side
agree
to it
with
is
that
that
because
what's been
Stephen
the knock
A.
against Mike McCarthy? Go ahead, Max. I'm sorry.
What came out of this game? What came out of this game is Cowboys fans and even just casual football fans are looking at this game and saying, Key identified it. Here are the two plays that decided the game. If only, then the Cowboys would have won. Both times it was young guys. Both times the idea is like the coach made a bad decision or the refs made a bad decision. And I agree with Key. In neither case, the coach made a good decision, designed a good play, and the refs made the right call. Both times, Key is right. It was young guys failing to execute properly that cost the Cowboys. It's not like bad luck or a bad ref's call or a bad coach's decision.
Well, they were the underdogs going into L.A. anyway, right? I mean, they were the underdogs to lose to the Rams.
No, they were
they
actually
had the most talent.
favored.
Oh, were they favored? Okay, I
No,
thought
they
for
were
some reason I
favored,
thought they were underdogs.
which was shocking to me. Yep.
But Max, that's the scientific or analytical, boring way you choose to look at it. I choose to look at it differently. These are the Cowboys. What do you mean? What do you mean? In other words, oh, you gonna break it down? No, they find ways to get in their own way. When you look at the Cowboys, what's their record now in close games? 1-7. They have a history, particularly a recent history, of finding ways to blow it. Even when they're favored, even when they have superior talent, there is something that happens that gets in the way of them winning football games that are tight. Period. So I don't know what you're talking about. You look at it in your analytical, boring way. I'm looking at it from a very realistic perspective. The Cowboys found a way to lose like I knew they would.
Key, more decisions like that from McCarthy will help them win. Those are the right decisions. Be aggressive.
Okay.
I like it.
Not if the Cowboys.
All right.
Not if you're the Cowboys. It won't work. Not with the Cowboys.
They also need to convert on third down conversions. Their
know.
last 7, they couldn't get it done. And to Stephen A's point, that 1-7, that's in one possession games. Can't close out games either. Keyshawn sticking around here with us when we come back, guys.
Correct.
It wasn't a good day for Tommy Brady either. Not so terrific in game 1 with his new squad. But don't worry, because Cliff Kellerman will tell you what's going on with TB.